Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For this video, I just wanted to do something interesting, something new, well for me at least. I'm trying to learn how to paint with watercolors, and it's just something that I want to kind of venture in and just take a break from 3D art and kind of chill out and relax with waters and color. So yeah, I've been trying to learn, and I just wanted to do some vintage hair studies for this video. If you guys aren't aware, I love vintage hair. Most of the decades I love. For this video, I want to tackle some 1940s hair. The curls, the waves, they're just so romantic, and literally, I guess I'm just living for all the drama and the maintenance that it took to style vintage hair. I feel like nowadays, because we're always on the go, it's a little bit difficult to maintain vintage hairstyle. I chose two iconic characters as my muses for my watercolor vintage hair study, and that is Sailor Venus and also Sailor Mars. I kind of chose them specifically because their hair color contrasts each other. Like color-wise, they look great together, the blonde and the jet black hair. I've always been obsessed with jet black hair because of Ray. And also because of the hairstyle that I chose to draw. They kind of fit Ray and Minako pretty well, I think. So yeah. Before we start, I would suggest that you guys grab your favorite hot drink, maybe hot chocolate, maybe tea, maybe coffee, light up some candles or something, and just like have a vibe with me. Okay, honestly though, but yeah, just do that. It is a vibe, and I'm just trying to have this like chill and like precise angelic voice. I don't know. But yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a fun journey. So for our medium, I will be using watercolors, specifically Angora Opaque Watercolor Pan. And I did kind of do my research, and I know that there's tubes, there's pan, there's liquid watercolors, but for this one we'll be using the pan, and I got this one from Blix. And of course, people recommended watercolor paper, and so here I have my watercolor paper. There's also the 100% cotton one, which I didn't get because I was still kind of testing it out, and that was actually pretty expensive. But over here, this is literally my first test at watercolors. As you can see, I tried drawing Sailor Venus and also Sailor Mars, and on the side I just had my scratches. And I was just kind of testing out how the water would work. And as you can see, this one is really nice and I love it. But there was some bleeding from her hair that got onto her skin. And I was just like, you know what, let's just add on to that and just play it out. And I posted it on Instagram, and some people really liked it. And so I was like, okay, I got kind of encouraged. And I kind of drew a corset over here with a matching glove. Just kind of doing some studies and to see how the watercolors kind of react to paper. Let's go ahead and flip that page so we can start another Sailor Venus and Sailor Mars with vintage hair. Study, sketch, painting, watercolor, brand new. So I kind of like to pre-plan the pose, so I'm kind of just drawing a little sketch over here of kind of how I want the pose to be. Unfortunately, I didn't include any of the arms and also the torso just because I was like, the main goal here is vintage hair. And so I just started with my pen. I really love sketching with pen more than pencil, just because it's a little bit cleaner, it doesn't get smudge, and yes, mistakes are often made, but you know, that's the challenge, that we just trying to make it work. It's kind of like tattooing, you know, like it's permanent, it's there, so the best bet is to just cover it up or include it in the design and stuff like that. But a little eyeliner here and there, a little lash here and there, it just makes everything so much better and it just makes everything fierce and it makes it work, in my opinion. But the pose and the positioning of the heads could have been better because, I don't know, the lips are kind of covered and I don't like that. And the hairstyle that we're giving Sailor Mars is this very long page boy in a horseshoe haircut. And so it's just so cool, the curls that goes under, but it's like completely flat. And I just like seeing it as a solid piece. Like there's just something really cool about the overall shape of this hair. And the hair for Sailor Venus is very much reference from the hair of Judy Garland in Meet Me in St. Louis. It's this beautiful half up, half down hair, and it just has soft curls, but the bangs are everything. It's this S-wave bang that's kind of over her eyebrows so you can see her expressions. And I just love that hair so much. It moves so well. She played with it so well. Like, she flipped it back and forth, I remember. If you guys want to see this hair kind of like in action a little bit more, I would recommend listening to the Trolley song. Not listening, but like, you know, watching the music video part of it here on YouTube. I'll link it down below so you guys can see this hair move. And also, if you guys are curious about the pen that I'm using, it's not an art pen or anything. You can literally use any ball pen. This one specifically is the Pentel RSVP BK90 in fine ball pen, and I really like ball pens a little bit more than just like gel pens or anything, because I feel like I can create grayscale with it. Like, I can kind of soften my grip and create grayer tones, and then I can just make it harder and then create black lines. So for me, I just really like it, and it's just, I like the gliding of a pen also. And I'm also on this journey, well, I feel like everyone is in a journey to just improve themselves. And for me, I really need to improve more on my style, with how I sketch, with how I color, with how I shade. And I'm just terrible at it, I feel like. I'm just not good at shading and just kind of overall creating shadows on a person or even on clothing. I feel like also color theory plays into that as well, because I feel like I can do it in, you know, pencils and charcoal and stuff like that. But when it comes to color, ooh, it gets a little bit tricky. Now let's go ahead and color, and I'm using the wet on wet technique. Oh my god, I love using watercolor terms that I just learned. But wet on wet is you wet the paper first and then you apply your watercolor in it. And it gives you more of a blurred out effect. The color isn't going to be as opaque. It actually is a little bit more of like a wash. And so you definitely want to make it dry first and then you work in layers. So I'm kind of glad I have a basic understanding of layering because of the dolls and Mr. Super Clear. But it's really cool because you can speed up the process with a hairdryer and just keep layering. It's kind of interesting because when I was little, I kind of never took watercolors so seriously because I thought they were just kind of like an entry level to art, kind of like crayons. But literally, you can make art out of anything, and I so respect people making watercolor art because I would say it's a little bit more challenging than oil because sometimes the water is really unpredictable, but I don't know, it's just a different feeling, and the gliding of the paint is also different, so I really respect watercolor artists. So yeah, the main purpose is just for me to draw and color vintage hair because I'm obsessed. Like I said, I just wanted to do some studies on it, specifically with watercolors because obviously, like I said, it's something new that I'm trying out, and I just wanted to show you guys the process and the progress. It's kind of like when I first started doll repainting. I have footage of my earlier repaints. I think it was like my, what, third or fourth doll I recorded, and so I'm kind of glad to go back and see when I first started versus how I am now, and I like seeing the evolution of my skill set, and hopefully it serves the same purpose for watercolors because, like I said, I'm trying it out, and so far so good. I really like the effect, and yeah. So apparently the key for watercolors is to work from light to dark, and so that's kind of what I'm trying to do here, and I'm trying to retain the paper, the white paper for the highlight points of the hair, and I'm just trying to make everything darker, and I'm shading everything just to give it more of the color. And as you can see over here, I'm just highlighting the horseshoe shape, and you can see the highlight being created. It's definitely harder to make watercolors light again unless you put literal paint on top of it. I believe you can kind of strip it out with water, but it's definitely just harder. So from what everyone's tips were, you have to, or you should, work from light to dark. For Ray's hair color, like I said, I love jet black hair, and in the anime, her hair color specifically was black, but it was like the purple black. But I love that. I love the whole jet black type of look, and I love it when black hair has a highlight of blue tint in it. I don't know, it's just really cool to me. Now I definitely am taking artistic liberties and giving her red eyes, even though she does not have that. I just thought it would look cool and it would make her hair pop even more. I'm just obsessed. I actually have kind of like all of the girls, all of the Sailor Scouts kind of assigned a specific hair, a specific vintage hair for them as an inspiration. So let me know if you guys want to see more from this, more vintage hair studies, and I would definitely try and provide because this was really fun. Now I'm slowly starting to shade Sailor Mars's hair. Obviously it's supposed to be black, and so we're building our way there. From a lot of the art classes that I have taken, everyone just says don't go completely black with something because it would look really flat. And I do agree. And obviously because we're trying to create this dimension of a jet black effect, I definitely want those highlights to give off the blues, the purples, and I just wanted to have a hue. And so we're working our way to black, but we're gonna keep going. Since we are in the vintage mood, who is your favorite like vintage icon from the past, obviously? Right now I am having an obsession with anything Rita Hayworth, so I'm just trying to backtrack with all of her movies, and I recently just watched CoverGirl and also Gilda, which I did not know Gilda was a film noir. Let's just say it definitely caught me off guard because I was like, what is going on? The perspective and point of view was definitely not Gilda's, and that's kind of why it threw me. But it was really cool, and I can't wait to watch more of her films. And also because her hair game is just so beautiful, and it's always on point. I don't know how she dances, and her hair never gets messed up. So it's literally hair goals. And now let's go ahead and add the black onto her hair. And as you can see, I'm starting from the middle and I'm kind of working my way out because I want the highlights to be really sharp as much as possible, and I want them to have a very crisp type of look. And so I'm just trying to be very careful. I'm layering the paint if I have to. And yeah, because obviously the watercolors, they dry lighter than when they are wet. So you want to wait for it to dry and then see if you need to add more layers and stuff. And now we're gonna go ahead and define their eyeliner, their eye makeup, and I'm also using watercolor for that. I just want everything to kind of look cohesive. And yeah, unfortunately, Sailor Mars's eyeliner got covered, her wing, and so I'm kind of annoyed by that. If you go back in the beginning, I drew a very beautiful wing for Sailor Mars, but no one else to blame but me because her hair is covering it. So I was very worried that I won't be able to get flared out lashes by using watercolor, and so I resulted in a artist pen, and specifically I'm using Faber-Castell's Pitt artist pen in extra small black. As you can see, it's okay. The lashes are still clumpy looking, they're very chunky, they're not it. And for the catch lights and details in the eyes, I'm using also the same brand, Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen Brush in white 101. And the size of it is B, I believe. I think B is for brush. But I actually love this one. I use it for the inner corners, for the lips, for the eyes, for everything. And then over here I'm just using pen again, the ballpoint pen, to add lashes for Mars because I was like, I feel like it's a little bit better. And to give Sailor Venus a little bit more highlights to her hair, I'm using the same exact white brush, and I thought it was really cool, and it gave off a more graphic effect, and it really made the hair shine, I thought. So yeah, I am going to tone this later with yellow because I don't want it to be pure white, and I just want it to be kind of softer and a little bit more subtle. I really want to advance my skill set when it comes to drawing, painting, coloring, and all that, sketching. There's just some ideas that result better in a drawing than it coming to life in a 3D plane. Like there's so many ideas that I want to make as a doll, but I'm like, okay, this is not realistic. Like it cannot look like this. It will not look like this unless it's a figurine or something, or if it's 3D printed or something. So there's just some ideas that really comes to life in an illustration. And so I just want to further my skills and help, you know, some ideas come to life in a drawing. I decided to kind of give them kind of cloud-like effect in the background. Mind you, I don't by any means think this looks like a realistic cloud. I was going for like a sunset, but like it's also a pink heaven, but also the sun is not there, but you can see its rays. It's just, let's just say it's pink, warm tone clouds. But like I said, I don't think it looks like clouds. But when we add the white, I still don't think it looks like clouds. So let's just imagine that it does look like clouds. And, you know, it's heavenly, it's ethereal. Let's just say that. I am going to wash this out, the clouds, with white watercolor in the end, just to diffuse and kind of blur out the background. Right now it's looking a little bit harsh. It's looking like pink mountains, pink rocks. I don't know, but we need to make it foggy and, you know, add some Gaussian blur in it. And that is pretty much it for this painting. Oh my god, this is technically my first watercolor painting that I pour myself into. Obviously because of the subjects, because of Sailor Moon with vintage hair, it's just a collaboration that I love. And I just loved doing this hair study. And if you guys want to see more, if you want to see the rest of the Sailor Scouts in vintage hair, comment down below. I would love to do it, honestly. You probably don't need to I will do it. I'm just kidding, but maybe if you guys enjoy this process, let me know down below and I will try to do more. I would love to draw more studies and just random stuff to really build my watercolor portfolio and stuff. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!